Hey guys, Eric with Stochastic back with another marketing strategy video, and today we're going to talk about building your business on long-term customers. Can you do it? Is it something we have to do? Is it something we should do? Is it something we want to do? And if so, how do we do it? And I wanted to start out because this is a big topic in the industry, it's something we talk about all the time. In fact, with a quick search today is really what started this video. I was looking for some information that was out there on the long-term value of customers from some other marketing companies and from some other agencies out there. So I took a look and simply typed into Google, and the first thing that popped up was this beautiful infographic made by Continuity Programs. And I give them full credit. They made this. This is not mine. I have simply taken it from Google search and presenting it here just as appears there, or at least a section of it. And this really paints the picture of exactly what we talk about when we talk about lifetime customer value for customers, or that long-term customer value. And you can see it here as you're looking through things. They break out exactly what the long-term value of a customer is. And there's a lot of things that go into this. They're talking about multiple system replacements, adding on humidifiers and air cleaners, servicing the household, running tune-ups on the household. But the big thing you can take a look at is the average value, average lifetime value, right here, lifetime value and average, is $42,700 for a new customer for the HVAC industry. And I can't argue with any of their math. Everything they've done, all the calculations they have, that all the addition is correct. If you add everything they have here, they do get exactly to the $42,000. Obviously, looking at 2 furnaces and 3 air conditioners for the household over a 30-year period, 3 humidifiers, 2 air cleaners, service contract for 30 years, and of course, 1 visit every 2 years for service calls. Added up and then added to inflation, so you multiply the profit by 2, you get $42,700 that came out of these customers. And herein lies where I have a bit of a problem with these numbers. I get that these guys are trying to do, and I understand the intent of the infographic. The problem is that it falls into the car salesman fallacy, or the car sales fallacy, which is the assumption that a person starts doing something and therefore they will continue it, and that we have any degree of control because of how good we do or what we do in the home to do those things, and that every person acts the same way. What I mean by that is the car salesman fallacy, and I have another video just on this. If you'd like to take a look at it, we'll run through it very quickly here. The car salesman fallacy explains this. The first time a new person walks into the car dealership, the owner says to the salesman, "Get out there on the sales floor. $60,000 just walked in the door." And the salesman looks at the owner and says, "What do you mean $60,000 just walked in the door?" The owner says back to the salesman, "Well, look, every person in this country, on average, buys 4 cars from a dealership over the course of their lifetime. The average value of a car purchased at a dealership is $15,000. So their walking in the door is $60,000. If we sell them the first car, they're worth $60,000 to us. Go out there and make a great impression." Of course, this makes a lot of assumptions. It makes the assumption that the person will continue to want that brand of car, that the brand of car they're buying or the style of car they're buying is, perfect for their life for the rest of time, or that dealer supplies cars that will fit their life for the rest of time. It assumes the person won't move. It assumes a lot of things. And of course, that's where the whole thing falls apart. The value of that customer is the value of the singular car purchase. And then, of course, there is a future hope that you can sell to them again. But the likelihood with cars, and especially with HVAC, becomes very low. Why is that? Well, it's real simple. If we take a look at the lifetime sales value of customers for individual HVAC companies, we never see a bunch of customers at that $42,000 mark. In fact, we see very, very few customers that get anywhere near that. Taking a look at the first company I took a snapshot of here today, you can see that the vast majority of their customers that are buying systems are in this $5,000 to $10,000 range, and this $10,000 to $20,000 range. This is where all of their profit is coming from, people who are buying a singular unit in this area. If we go up here to this $30,000 range, you can see in this blue line indicates the percentage of people. We don't even get all the way up to 1%. In fact, the vast majority of people, this is only about 8% and this is only about 12%. The vast majority of people, about 50%, are stuck down here in this lifetime value. This is a cumulative value of up to $500. And they're stuck there forever. Half of the customers' homes you go in will be worth less than $500 over their lifetime. No matter how long you know them, no matter how long you're in business, this percentage always holds at about 50% for contractors. In fact, if it gets too low, one of the things that happens is it means that you're not being aggressive enough getting new customers, and your business actually tends to stagnate or to go stagnant. And so it is important to keep that number around 50%. It means that you are getting into houses and trying to find homes where there's opportunity. And like they say, you have to break a few eggs to make an omelet. And it doesn't matter the size of company, the area, everyone follows about the same pattern. Here's a company that's had a radical amount of growth. They are a really nice sized company in the Midwest. And look, right here, $5,000 to $10,000 is where the vast majority of their revenue comes from. And it's about 20% of their customers, about 18%. Up here in the $10,000 to $20,000 systems, and most of these, by the way, in value hover around $12,000, you are looking at about 5%. Up here in that over $30,000 value, you can see it's just $633,000 worth of their sales. It's less than 1% of their customers. And it doesn't matter even when we look at the rare example of someone who is in the far reaches of the area and only sells really high price systems, still less than 1% of people over that $30,000 mark, less than 2% of people over the $20,000 mark. Most of their sales come from here, these folks in the $10,000 to $20,000 range. And where are most of their clients? 62% of them are trapped in this $500 or less area. Why? Because that's just the way the business works. You have to get into some bad homes in order to get into some good homes. And when you're testing and going and finding houses, you're going to find some bad. About half of the houses you get into. And so that's the story as we look at everybody. Even somebody who installs geothermal and has a ridiculously high percentage, nearly 3% of customers at 30%, these are single unit purchases. And so when you are looking at the long-term value of your customer, and you're saying, what can I get out of these households? We have to be realistic. So there's a better way to take a snapshot of that. Why are long-term customers a worse bet? Well, the answer is really simple. Take a look at this breakout of the yearly value of new customers versus house file customers. House file customers are any customers beyond their first year on the books. New customers are the first 365 days. Look at the disparity between the two. The new customers are worth about twice as much as the house file customers. And that holds true across all different business sizes. It holds true whether a company is a good company or a bad company at sale, a new company, an old company at sales. That holds true across all time and all contractors, that the new customers should be valued a lot higher, usually 2 to 3 times the value of the house file customers, meaning that you have to go to 2 to 3 times as many of the long-term customers to get the same revenue. Why is that? It's simply that new customers replace much faster. And it really falls down again to the alpha chart. If you remember from some of our other videos, people buy up front. They call you when they have a problem. That's why new customers are so much more valuable than those long-term customers. And one of the other big disparities in the house file or long-term customer debate over the new customer debate is simply how people look at new customers. If you look at new customers simply as a snapshot of the first day they're on the books, they only make up about 25% of the sales. But if you take that snapshot and draw it out over the course of the first year, that number jumps to 60%. In fact, if you only go out 30 days, it jumps to nearly 50% of the sales. So really, the dramatic time when a customer will buy from you is the first 30 days they're on the books. So is there a long-term customer value versus a short-term customer value? There is, and it all depends on how you look at it. Why is it so much like that? Well, simply this. It's the number of customers that are active at different time frames. If you take a look here at 372,189 customers on day one. Look how little activity happens after the end of the first year. Through the end of the first year, a lot of customers re-engage in this time frame. And right here in this 1 to 30 time frame, I can tell you, and we'll do another video on this here very soon, this is when all the installs happen. And after that time frame going forward, you can see just how few customers remain active as you go out year over year over year. And we're looking here at hundreds of thousands of households. So this isn't a small sample size. This isn't a singular business. This is multiple businesses across multiple areas in the country. And it really paints a picture of what happens to those customers over time. There isn't a spike in year 4 and 5 and 7 and 9 where people are buying multiple systems. Remember, not everyone who goes on your books day one is a replacement customer. So we wouldn't expect to see a spike at year 10 in replacements because you sold a bunch here and now you have to get them out here. We would expect to see a spike as all time goes on. You should see lift the longer the customers are on your books, because some people go on in 3 years, some people go on at 5 years, and some people go on at 10 years old or 10 years of age on their system. Meaning, exponentially over time, you should see lift if those customers remain active and doing a good job and servicing them and bringing on club members was really driving your business. The reality of the situation, people call you when something's wrong. And once it stops being wrong, they stop calling you. If you do a great job, you do a wonderful job, if you educate them well, does that mean you shouldn't pay attention to those customers who've been on your books? Absolutely not. They still make up 20% of your business. But remember, it's 20%, not 80%. Your focus in your marketing should be on this first 36 months. So can you build your business on long-term customer relationships? You can. It just won't get very big. So if you'd like to take a look at how that looks for you, please give me a call. And hey, shoot me an email. Give me a call. Jump on our website. Give me some feedback to this video and some other videos you'd like to see. Or like I said, if you'd like to take a look at how that alpha chart looks for you, how your customers spend their money with your company, reach out to me. I'll be happy to take a look at it for you. My name is Eric with Stochastic. I appreciate your time. I'll talk to you soon.